ancestors give me strength.
Nightwolf. While not the most realistic representation of Native Americans, Nightwolf is also not the worst either. He fights because the spirits of his elders guide him to protect his home. While he's not been as influential in the plot of Mortal Kombat compared to other characters, his determination, moveset, and willingness to sacrifice himself for the sake of others boosts him up to what would have otherwise been a ho-hum character.
Sure you're ready for this? Since the second I saw that outfit.
See, now I gotta hurt you.
Jackie Briggs. The daughter of Jackson Briggs, Jackie is as stubborn and bullheaded as her father can be, much to his chagrin. This led her to join the Special Forces, where she trained under Johnny Cage and became friends with his daughter, Cassie Cage. She may not be the strongest character in the series, but she isn't afraid of a fight, though is smart enough to know when barging into battle may not be the wisest of decisions, unlike some members of her team.
Do we fight, brother?
Brothers do fight.
Often with regret.
Liu Kang. The former hero of Mortal Kombat has fallen since the series began, no longer able to be considered the series' protagonist, as he is now on a much darker path. In his origins, he was a member of the Shaolin, and was handpicked to protect the realm of Earth. For the original timeline, that was pretty much his defining characteristic, not having much else when it comes to characterization, other than his love for Princess Kitana. In the reboot, however, he's begun to show a much darker side to his character, having evolved to be extremely ambitious, as well as having begun to show signs of megalomania. In the canon story, he now rules the Netherrealm with his new Empress, but even in his non-canon endings, he's shown to be weak to the temptations of power, possibly becoming even more of a dictator than his former nemesis Shao Kahn ever was.
Horrid creature.
I am our world's true leader.
You're merely a failed experiment.
Kotal Kahn. Unlike his predecessors Shao Kahn and Mileena, Kotal Kahn has more of an Aztec influence in his character design. Being more of a side character than antagonist, he isn't shown in too much detail in the only game he's shown up in so far. That being said, he is shown to be ruthless and calculating, willing to sacrifice billions of human lives to protect those under his rule. It'll be interesting to see if he makes more of an appearance in later games, or if he will slowly fade into the background. Only time will tell.
You face a Shaolin.
Quite a handsome Shaolin.
Barking up the wrong tree, sister.
Kung Jin. Kung Jin is a series of firsts for the Mortal Kombat series. The first gay character, the first Shaolin warrior to work under the command of the Special Forces, and the first protagonist to be a complete douche at times. Kung Jin obviously has an axe to grind, trying to prove himself and often causing problems in the process. He also struggles to crawl out of the immense shadow of his ancestor, the original Kung Lao, an effort he shares with his cousin, the lesser Kung Lao. After seeing what's truly at stake, he mellows out a bit and is willing to sacrifice his own life to ensure that the fallen elder god Shinnok is defeated. Li Mei. Li Mei first made her appearance in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance and is the only combatant to date to canonically win a Mortal Kombat tournament besides Liu Kang. While she didn't have much influence on the story in the original timeline, ending up being the first person to die in the Battle of Armageddon, her deft acrobatic movements made her memorable compared to many of the characters who originated from both Deadly Alliance and Deception. Her latest cameo in Mortal Kombat X gives us hope that she may play a bigger part in the franchise from here on out. But again, only time will tell.
There's two of us? Only gonna be one in a minute. I'm too old for this shit.
Jackson Briggs. Partner of Sonya Blade, Jax is a powerfully built soldier. While he does have a bit of a temper, he usually manages to keep his cool, though the antics of Johnny Cage does tend to get under his skin. A soldier to the core, the only time he is ever shown to doubt himself is when he is forced to carry out unmentionable acts as a servant of Quan Chi and live with the after effects. This massive metal-armed man is both memorable and powerful, and worthy of such a high place on this list. Ashura. Her design at first made many believe that she was a new female incarnation of the thunder god Raiden. But while at first Ashura might look like an entity of heavenly light, she's actually a demon from the Netherrealm. She obtained her current form after finding the mystical sword Chris. Whenever she slays a demon, it purifies a part of her soul. She believes that if she slays enough demons, she will be able to completely purify her soul and escape the Netherrealm. The game hints that there may be more to the story than meets the eye, making this character's twisted tale of redemption and purification more complex than some of the one-note characters that we've seen so far.
Let's see what you're made of.
Cabal. Once upon a time, Cabal was a member of the Black Dragon and comrade to Kano. After a major event, Cabal decided to leave the Black Dragon and become a police officer, and assisted Curtis Stryker in repelling Shao Kahn's forces during the invasion of Earthrealm. Unfortunately for Cabal, he received permanent injuries to his body and lungs, requiring him to wear a mask to assist him in breathing at all times. Cabal is perhaps best known in battle for two things: his supersonic speed, which he can use to disorient his opponent, and his twin hook swords, effective for viciously maiming and dismembering his opponents. While maybe not as popular as some of the other more prominent characters of Earth's defense, Cabal definitely has a face to remember.
Looks so much like her mama.
Screw you, creep.
Why'd you scream like her too?
Kano. Cocky, arrogant, and ruthless are words that do not give Kano justice. As the leader of the Black Dragon, Kano is an ever-present thorn in the side of Special Forces member Sonya Blade, a role that he relishes. Kano at heart is a gun for hire, selling his services to the highest bidder regardless of loyalty. He may not be the strongest fighter out there, but he's definitely no one to turn your nose up at, using his natural athleticism and knife-wielding skills to his advantage. His robotic eye can also produce a highly concentrated energy laser, which can make short work of his opponents, so it's best not to get on his bad side.
Nothing personal, mate.
Kitana.
Down on your knees.
I just washed these pants, so...
Takeda. Son of the blind warrior Kenshi and trained under the ninja Scorpion, Takeda is both a highly trained and highly gifted warrior. Under the training of Scorpion, Takeda was able to master many of the techniques passed down by the Shirai Ryu and meld them with the innate psychic abilities granted by his father. While he may not be leader material, his quick wit and attempts at keeping everyone's spirits up make him a quality teammate, and number 26 on this list.
You did not kill me at the pyramid. This time I will.
Shinnok. Being one of the more powerful characters in the Mortal Kombat continuity, Shinnok is the only boss character to be playable in the game that he originated. Shinnok's status as a fallen elder god means that he is one of the few characters who has the capability of besting the majority of the main cast in one-on-one combat, and sometimes one-on-two combat. As a fallen god, he has obtained dark powers that allow him to animate massive hands made out of bone to maim his opponent. This, coupled with his immortality and combat prowess, makes him very good at mimicking his opponent's abilities and using them against their owner, adding insult to injury.
Your soul is mine.
Shang Tsung. The Grand Sorcerer Shang Tsung has been at the forefront of the war between Earthrealm and Outworld ever since it began. Hosting the first games tournament, as well as being the final opponent to anyone who reaches him, he is one of Earthrealm's toughest adversaries. He and Liu Kang have had a long-standing rivalry after he was bested by him in the first tournament, to the point where he goes out of his way to ensure his death at the beginning of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. While he is later outclassed by much more powerful villains, his near-constant presence in the series makes him a very stubborn adversary. Shao Kahn. the Emperor of Outworld and the true antagonist for the first 3 Mortal Kombat games. Shao Kahn is everything that a bad guy can aspire to be. A cruel, close-fisted dictator. He is willing to step on anyone and everyone to get what he wants, which is simply to rule all of known existence. His lust for power knows no bounds, as he tries multiple times to take over Earthrealm, only to be thwarted again and again. Eventually, this leads to his downfall, as his desire for conquest clouds his thought process, and he is eventually defeated and dethroned for breaking the rules of Mortal Kombat, leading to his destruction at the hands of Raiden.
Tanya!
Edenians should not fight each other.
Our realm is dead, as you shall be.
Tanya. Known for her deception above all else, Tanya is not a person you put your trust in. First showing up in Mortal Kombat 4, she appears as an ally to the Earthrealm warriors, only to betray them to her true master, Shinnok. After this defeat, she floats from alliance to alliance, betraying just about everyone in the game's story at one point or another, and in the process gaining the ire of Jade. In the latest game, Mortal Kombat X, she is shown to be working to free her realm of Edenia from the iron grip of Kotal Khan. With this change of goals, perhaps she can finally find redemption for her past transgressions and turn over a new leaf. Probably not, though.
You won't escape this time.
Escape? And this all the fun?
This won't be fun.
Sonya Blade. The first female playable in the franchise, the strong-willed Sonya Blade is one of the series' most prominent characters, being playable in all but 2 of the series' titles. She is known for her tenacity and no-nonsense attitude, rarely showing her softer side. That's not saying she's heartless, as she definitely has shown to care quite a bit about her friends and family, but she is always focused on the mission first, with personal obligations coming in at a distant second. You know that if you manage to piss off Sonya, you better learn how to hide, and hide well, as she will hunt you down with single-minded determination.
Hey, baby.
You're such an ass.
And you love it.
Johnny Cage. Polar opposite to Sonya's professionalism, Johnny Cage is all about having fun and looking cool while doing it. Don't mistake his less than professional demeanor as a lack of caring, however, as Johnny Cage is one of Mortal Kombat's longest-lasting and most serious fighters. After learning the truth about the world, he quits being an actor and joins the Special Forces, working to protect the world from further threats. It hasn't been until more recent titles that he has become more than a comic relief character, but this change has made him more likable and a better character overall.
I'd frame that.
Fujin. The Wind God Fujin hasn't had many opportunities to shine in the franchise, only being playable in 2 games and being mere cameos in others. That doesn't mean that his appearance in these games hasn't shown his potential. His abilities and character design are memorable even if he is underutilized as a character, and one that we would love to see return in some form or fashion.
I nearly bested you.
With the aid of Shang Tsung's magic.
That is a lie!
Goro. The original mini-boss of the series, Goro has undergone many transformations. Originating as an antagonist, he's swayed back and forth being both enemy and ally to the main forces of Earthrealm, depending on the game. In Mortal Kombat X, he is shown to be an impressive wall of force, beating down anything that is in his way. Do not expect this Shokan Prince to go down easily, as he will destroy anyone who takes him lightly.
What is this? I bring warning, fool. Your tone belies your words.
Reptile. The self-proclaimed last of his race, Reptile is as dangerous a friend as he is an enemy. Originating from Earthrealm, his acid-spitting race nearly went extinct as humanity became the primary species of the realm. This has left Reptile with a bit of a sour outlook, and resulted in him pledging his allegiance to Outworld. Ironic, as Shao Kahn was responsible for the near annihilation of his species. While Reptile has never really been a main character, he is one that everyone recognizes being one of the few characters in the original games to not be completely human. And while he may not be the best with his words, we cannot deny that he has a wicked tongue.
We mustn't fight. I'm afraid we must. You are my only friend.
Quan Chi. Leader of the Brotherhood of Shadow, Quan Chi is the only sorcerer in the game who is arguably stronger than Shang Tsung. While Quan Chi seems to have some level of honor, he is not above using trickery in order to get what he wants. For years he used Scorpion as a tool, using his drive for vengeance by misleading him into thinking that the Lin Kuei were responsible for murdering his family, when in fact it was Quan Chi himself who did the deed. His dark heart is filled with the desire to bring death to the world, which makes him perfect as Shinnok's right-hand man, a place he held proudly until the bitter end.
Where there is smoke, there is fire.
Smoke. First appearing as a hidden gray ninja in Mortal Kombat 2. Many fans of the Mortal Kombat series found it very surprising when Smoke appeared as a playable character, but this time as a robotic member of the Lin Kuei. Since his original introduction, Smoke has been a fan favorite, and this has only increased after the series rebooted, and his transformation into a robot was prevented by Raiden. While he is currently in a state of being less than alive, we have no doubt that this ethereal fighter story will continue on in the future.
This will be easy.
Jade, the third of the female ninjas to appear in the Mortal Kombat series. Jade serves both as Kitana's bodyguard and as her closest friend. In the original timeline, she assists Kitana in bringing Queen Sindel to her senses when she is being controlled by Shao Kahn, and later assists Sindel when Kitana is brainwashed by the Dragon Emperor Onaga. She is extremely loyal, risking her life to protect her friends while wielding her staff with extreme prejudice. It is unfortunate that she tends to get overshadowed by other female cast members, but she is a formidable fighter that deserves recognition. Ermac. A construction made from the souls of countless warriors. Ermac, though originating as a puppet of Shao Kahn, has jumped back and forth in the games from being on the villain side to the hero side. In the current timeline, he has pledged himself to Kotal Khan, where he acts as one of his personal enforcers. As time has passed, it would appear that he is starting to fall apart, meaning that he may have to undertake a personal quest to try and repair his decaying body before he can no longer keep himself together. Cyrax. Unlike Sector, Cyrax is one of the Lin Kuei members who opposed the Cyber Initiative. Unfortunately, this ended up being a moot point, as he was transformed into a cyborg against his will, making him a slave to Shao Kahn. In this form, he is able to fight his opponent with a variety of nets and bombs, allowing him to set his enemies up for devastating combos. He was last seen in the Mortal Kombat X comic, where he helped Sub-Zero destroy the last of the Cyber Lin Kuei. That being said, it hasn't stopped him from showing up as the currently non-canon character Triborg in Mortal Kombat X.
My favorite pupil.
I'll bet you tell Liu Kang the same thing.
You're right, I take it back.
Kung Lao. Member of the Shaolin and descendant of the great Kung Lao, Kung Lao has constantly lived with his ancestors' legacy held above him as something to aspire to. This has given Kung Lao a slightly jaded personality, giving him the desire to obtain personal glory more than his brother-in-arms Liu Kang. In battle, he has mastered a variety of teleportation moves, which he uses to great effect when combined with his ability to use his hat as a weapon to cut through his enemies with ease. Time may have mellowed Kung Lao out. However, as he is currently under the control of the Brotherhood of Shadow, he serves as a dangerous enemy to the heroes of the Mortal Kombat story. Baraka. One of Shao Kahn's most trusted generals, Baraka has served faithfully for years. Being one of the strongest fighters of the Tarkatan race, he is shown to be extremely faithful when it comes to destroying all possible enemies of Shao Kahn, and later his successor, Melina. With his terrifying visage and unwavering loyalty, it could be possible that we will see Baraka for many years to... Oh, he's dead. Never mind.
Who are you? Raiden, protector of Chaos Realms. The flow of time has indeed changed.
Raiden. The god of thunder, Raiden, is one of the biggest driving forces in the story of Mortal Kombat. As the protector of Earthrealm, it is usually up to him to gather the heroes of the series together in order to fight against the dangerous foes that threaten the realm. While he may be a benevolent entity, he understands the necessity of sacrifice, showing this at one point by willing to give the souls of his fallen warriors to Quan Chi in exchange for his help. By the end of Mortal Kombat X, Raiden has been corrupted with dark energy, giving him a much more ruthless outlook than previously. Depending on what happens next in the story, we may see him at odds with the rest of the cast, possibly resulting in a power struggle amongst Earthrealm's fighters.
Trimorg, huh? What are you, Swedish?
My human origins are unimportant.
Ooh, you like the tasty fish, yeah, for sure.
Cassie Cage. The daughter of Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade, Cassandra takes various aspects of both her parents and makes them her own. While she does have a more upbeat and sarcastic personality than most of the more military characters in the game, when she's on a mission, she is all business. Being the main character of Mortal Kombat X, she succeeds in being a well-rounded character, being able to worm her way into a person's heart with a wink and a smile, as well as tear that heart out with her bare hands if need be. A great new protagonist for a new generation, it would be a crime not to acknowledge her character. Therefore, she gets the number 8 spot on this countdown.
Cassie wins. Fatality.
Filthy chitin. This one will ensure your death.
Devora. Everything that went wrong with Draman's bug-like design, Devora's design got right. Her spastic movement, devastating fighting style, and manner of speech all make her stand out from the crowd. Very few people would call her the friendliest of individuals, but one cannot deny that she gets the job done. In Mortal Kombat X, she's shown to have worked not only under Kotal Kahn, but the previous ruler of Outrealm, Shao Kahn, giving her a backstory that stretches back to the original games. It is unknown what her endgame objective is, as she is defeated by Cassie Cage at the end of Mortal Kombat X's story campaign. But more likely than not, it's not something that would have boded well for the rest of the world. That being said, if we see Devora return in a new Mortal Kombat game in the future, there will be no complaints from us.
You're a scoundrel.
Says the deadbeat dad.
Even for you, that was low.
Kenshi. Very few mortal combatants that came about in the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube era were well liked. Kenshi, on the other hand, was not only liked, but became one of the more popular Mortal Kombat characters out there. The psychic blind swordsman is now almost required to be in each new game installment due to fan demand, as his popularity has skyrocketed since his initial debut. While he is rarely thrust into the hero spotlight, oftentimes allowing more boisterous characters like Johnny Cage take that spot for himself, he is a formidable fighter that deserves high praise and a high spot on the list.
Come forward if you dare!
I will finish what the Lin Kuei could not.
Sindel. Sindel is one of the few characters that people can recognize simply by looking at her signature hairstyle. This Scream Queen has been quoted as being the most powerful female character in the Mortal Kombat universe. If you've played the Mortal Kombat reboot, it's apparent why. Because even though she was more powerful than normal at the time, she single-handedly killed almost the entire cast of the game in a single scene. Unlike most antagonists of the series, Sindel isn't evil by choice, and in fact once sacrificed herself to prevent Shao Kahn from taking over Earthrealm. Unfortunately, since her resurrection at the hands of Quan Chi, she's found herself constantly under the control of others, being used as a minion to further their own goals. Maybe someday she'll be able to escape from her continuous state of mind control and be able to fight for the freedom of her realm and take her place as queen once again.
I should have killed you long ago. You care too much for me. I did not wish to soil my hands.
Kitana and Mileena. What makes these two characters great is that they are two parts of the same whole. Admittedly, Kitana would simply be another ass-kicking princess were it not for her pseudo-doppelganger, and Mileena would not exist at all were it not for Kitana. As the series has gone on, Mileena has begun to evolve into her own character, temporarily taking over control of Outworld and fighting Kotal Kahn in a civil war. This has allowed her to evolve in a way that does not require Kitana as a way to define herself. Meanwhile, Kitana has gone through a dark metamorphosis as the series has progressed, having been transformed into a Revenant and now ruling the Netherrealm alongside Liu Kang. Though these two sisters would not have become who they are, nor have been as interesting without each other, which gives these two the number 3 and 4 spots on this list.
Shirai Ryu, dog.
Lin Kuei scum!
Death is more honor than you deserve.
Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Like Kitana and Mileena, there was no question as to which two characters were going to be at the top of this list. The real question is which of these two gets top billing. It is true that Scorpion is the favorite of Ed Boon, the Mortal Kombat series creator, but that does not mean that Sub-Zero deserves to be, pardon the pun, left out in the cold. These two may have originated as palette swaps of each other. Since then, they have evolved into the two most recognizable mascots for the series. Honestly, it really doesn't matter which one is on top in the end, whether it be Scorpion with his own twisted view of justice, or Sub-Zero with calm but frosty demeanor. Both characters are excellent, and therefore both take top billing as the best of the Mortal Kombat roster. So that's it for this episode of Worst to Best. What do you think of this list? If you agree, please like and subscribe, and we'll be able to do these videos more often. If you disagree, why not let us know in the comments who you think the best and worst characters of the Mortal Kombat series are. Also, if you enjoyed all the talking, my name is River Kanoff. You can check out my video dump for more video game and voiceover related videos at the link on screen and in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.